reporting date of the CDC to the 31st of August 2022, which would still allow the bill to be available for debate in the next sitting.
Thank you. Senator Ruston.
Thank you very much, President. Whilst I thank the opposition for the small extension of time to the reporting on the inquiry on the cashless debit card bill, I want to put on the record how disappointed the opposition is in relation to the amount of time that has been made available to review and consider these bills in committee. I think it disrespects the important work of the Senate, and I also think the disrespect that the Labor Party has shown by not consulting with the very people that this measure is going to impact is extraordinarily insulting to them. In the trial sites of the Goldfield, the Kimberleys, Hervey Bay and Bundaberg and Ceduna, these communities actually asked for this particular measure to be put in place, and they are seeking to remove this measure without even bothering to consult with them. And now they want to rush this legislation through this place, and I think this is absolutely unbelievable that this appalling decision does not even go back to the communities that have asked for it. And I would also draw into my attention, the attention of the chamber, that in my home state of South Australia, in Ceduna, the CDC was actually put in place in response to a coronial inquest for the really tragic death of a number of people on the West Coast. They wanted the card. It was a recommendation of the coroner's report into those deaths, and it was something that community asked for. In the other sites that had previously had their clunky, outdated basics card, the government is now going to deny those participants in those communities the ability that the new technology of the cashless debit card offers them. I mean, they're not intending to remove income management, because if you listen to the answer to the question asked of Minister Farrell last week, he said income management was not going to be taken out of the Northern Territory. Instead, they want to send them back to having only the basics card, the clunky old basics card, instead of providing them with the advanced technology of the cashless debit card. And in doing so, they also deny the traditional credit union in the Northern Territory the opportunity to support many of their members with this particular and new form of technology. In the Cape York, totally transition voluntary, a number of people on the card voluntarily. They've linked it to their amazing award-winning Palmer platform that supports them. This is a decision of that community. This is not a decision of government, it's a decision of that community. Once again, they want to send them back to the clunky old basics card without really any thought. It's a reminder, this is absolute abject hypocrisy. And to come in here and not be able to answer questions like, we don't know how the government is intending to transition off this card. The supports that are going to be needed for the people who've currently got the support of this card, what's going to happen to them? We don't know what's going to happen to the people who voluntarily are on—
Senator Ruston, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Senator Ruston has the right to be heard in silence. Thank you. Senator Ruston.
Thank you very much. We do not know what is going to happen to those people who voluntarily are on this card. We don't know what's going to happen to those people who voluntarily have transferred from the CDC, from the basics card to the CDC in the Northern Territory. What is going to happen to them? We do not know what is going to happen. What was the research that underpinned this decision, and what is the research that shows what the impacts of the withdrawal of this particular mechanism is going to be on those communities? We don't know what advice has been taken that underpins this decision. All these unanswered questions, and this Senate wants to give us 4 weeks to be able to go and ask the people who are at the coalface, the people who have this card, the people who are impacted by this card, the communities that are impacted by this card, the communities who asked for this card to be in their communities in the first place. And at the same time, they still intend to keep income management in place in some communities but not in other communities. We do not understand the rationale behind why the people in the Northern Territory, are still going to be kept on income management, but people in other communities are not going to be kept on income management. We do not understand the difference. This is a really, really important piece of inquiry that I think Australians need to understand, but most particularly we need to respect the views and ideas of the people in the communities where this card is currently in place, understand what they want, how they want it to be implemented, and to understand the impact of removing this without any thought whatsoever, no consultation with these communities, and I say no consultation with these communities before the announcement that the card was going to be removed. I think we owe the respect to this chamber for review, and we owe the respect to those communities to consult with them.